So let's reflect on this physics UTME past question.
Calculate the solubility in mole per dm cube of 40 G of copper tetraoxosulfate 6 dissolved in 100 G of water at 120 degrees Celsius. And here comes the attached data to this question. Copper is equal to 64 degrees, sulfur is equal to 32, and oxygen is equal to 16. Now note that these figures or these numbers represent the atomic masses of the various elements represented here. So we bring out the options. A is equal to 1.00, B is equal to 2.50, C is equal to 0.40, D is equal to 0.25.
So in order to solve this question, note we are asked to calculate the solubility. So now first of all, we have to print out the formula for solubility. And what is the formula for solubility? Solubility is equal to numbers of moles of a solution over the volume of solution. So in order to solve this question, let's bring out our data.
From the question, the reacting mass of the cupric sulfate is 40 G, which dissolves in the mass of water of 100 G. From general observation, 100 G of water by mass is equivalent to 100 centimeter cube of water by volume, so which is also equivalent to 0.1 dm cube. Now, note in general that 1000 centimeter cube make 1 dm cube, so 100 centimeter cube makes 0.1 dm cube. That's why we have it here. So we're going to continue with the explanation.
This is a question on solubility. So in order for us to continue to effectively solve this question, it is very important and imperative for us to calculate the relative molecular mass of the dissolving substance. And what is the dissolving substance from the question? We discovered that the dissolving substance from the question is copper tetraoxosulfate 6. Now, I call it copper tetraoxosulfate 6. According to a layman, you can call it copper tetraoxosulfate 6, but the standard name is copper 2 tetraoxosulfate 6, or you can also call it the cupric sulfate. So in order for us to calculate the relative molecular mass of the cupric sulfate, we already have data of the atomic number of these respective elements that form the copper tetraoxosulfate 6. So now from the question, we have copper, which is equal to 64, sulfur, which is equal to 32, and oxygen is equal to 16. So now we're going to add them right now. So copper 64 plus sulfur 32 plus oxygen. Now oxygen has a subtract 4. So now we are going to open a bracket. You can also call it open parenthesis. So we open a parenthesis, then write 16 times 4. Then we close the bracket. Then we use our calculator. Now we get the answer. So now the answer to the relative molecular mass of copper 2 tetraoxosulfate 6 is 160. From our calculation, we discovered the answer is 160. So we are going to continue to our digital board so we can continue solving. Let's go.
The relative molecular mass for the copper tetraoxosulfate 6 is equal to 160 grams per mole. So now we move on to bring out the formula for solubility so we can continue our solving. Solubility is equal to numbers of mole of dissolved particle in solution over the volume of solution. So now from our basic knowledge in chemistry, we know that the formula for calculating the numbers of mole is equal to numbers of mole is equal to reacting mass over molar mass. And we know that the reacting mass is 40 G from our data, and the molar mass we calculated is 160. So we use our scientific calculator, 40 over 160. So we have an answer to be 0.25 mole. Now that we have the answer for our mole, let's bring out the formula again just for clarity. Let's bring out the formula again so we can solve it out. Now solubility is equal to numbers of mole present over volume of solution. So now the numbers of mole we know is 0.25 over the volume of water, which is 0.1. So now let's use a scientific calculator to get it done. Now 0.25 over 0.1. Now we know that the answer is equal to 2.5 mole per dm cube. So the answer for our solubility is equal to 2.5 mole per dm cube. Now we got the answer.